And y'all, you know, when I went and ran that 10K in Las Vegas and I got sick afterwards, and then I got sick again, like I cannot get healthy. I don't know whether you're all giving me all of your germs back. I cannot get healthy. My head hurts again, my throat hurts again. All right. All right, so I'm gonna work 1 and 2 because these are pretty representative of the complex fractions. And so the complex fractions, we divide this in 2. And we find a common denominator on top and a common denominator on bottom. And then what do I change my division to? Multiplication, and we flip the bottom, right? So on top, my common denominator is going to be x minus 2, since I have a 1 here. And so I already have the x minus 2, so do I have to multiply the 3 by anything? So I'm going to write 3 plus, and then I'm going to write my 2 down. What do I have to multiply the 2 by? Okay, so I'm going to write the x minus 2. Are we all good so far? And then on bottom, what's my common denominator on bottom? 3 and x minus 2, right? I need 1 of each. And y'all, why does that make me happy? Because I look right now, and what's going to happen to my x minus 2s? They're going to cancel out. So I feel like we're probably doing this right, okay? So then on top, I have x minus 2. So what do I have to multiply the 2x minus 3 by? So I'm going to write 3, and then I'm going to do 2x minus 3. And then I'm going to have plus, and I'm going to write my 2x. And what do I have to multiply by my 2x? Very good. Okay, so before I go on, can I go ahead and cancel my x minus 2's here? You cannot. Who said yeah? I don't even, Angel. Angel, tell me why the answer is no. What is there that, it doesn't even matter. What's here? The plus sign. And you can't do it if there's a plus or a minus. I don't know how many times I can say this, but you cannot do that. All right, so on top, I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So I'm going to get 2x. This is minus 4. So 3 minus 4 is going to give me minus 1. Is that right? And then on bottom, I have x minus 2. I'm going to change my division to multiply. And on top, I'm going to do 3 and the x minus 2. So on bottom, 3 times 2x is going to give me 6x. 3 times a negative 3 is going to give me negative 9. I'm going to take 2x times x, and that's going to give me 2x squared. And then 2x times a minus 2 gives me minus 4x. Am I good so far? So right here, my friends, I get 2x squared, and then I get plus 2x minus 9. And so this is going to factor at minus 18 and 2. So how does that factor? Nine times 7 is 63. Close, but not 18. Does it factor, y'all? So don't make stuff up. Like, it doesn't factor. No. Okay, so here's what I have. What's going to cancel? The x minus 2. And I'm going to end up with 3 times 2x minus 1 over 2x squared plus 2x minus 9. And that's your answer, guys. Yes. Yep. No, you're good? Okay. Okay, on number 2, here's my division sign. So what's my common denominator on top? Okay, so what do I multiply the 1 by? And the other one, u squared. And on bottom, what's my common denominator? uv, so I'm going to get v minus u. So the only thing, v squared minus u squared, how does that factor? Because it's a perfect square, right? So I'm going to get v plus u times v minus u over u squared v squared times uv over v minus u. Can I cancel my v minus u, Angel? And I can because there's no pluses and minuses, right? Okay, so this is okay. How about the uv? Can I cancel that? There's 2 u's and v's. I can just have 1 on the bottom. So I'm going to cancel. And so I get for an answer v plus u over uv. I really do think this is easier than the rational jump. Okay, so any questions over those? All right, y'all, I'm going to leave the next 4, and I'll let you work those, and I'll let you check them then on after you're done. On number 7, can you cross out that -1 there? That's a typo. Okay, so we have long and synthetic division, and so I'm not gonna work those. I know you guys can work those, but you can't work them. Do the delta math. Oh my gosh. All right, but what's the one thing, y'all? If I were taking a test and I was doing long and synthetic division, before I started, the first thing I would do is I would look, and I would say, oh, x to the third, x to the second, x, and a constant. This one's okay. But I would go to the next one. M to the fourth, m to the third. Y'all, what's missing? So you got to add the 0m squared. And I would write that so I wouldn't forget it. I would do the same thing on my synthetic division. X to the third, x to the second, 1 and -4. They're all there. X to the third, x to the second. What's missing? X, so I would put the 0x to remind myself to as a placeholder there. Okay. So let's look at number 11. So I will do a little bit of synthetic division for you. It says if x plus 2 and x minus 1 are factors of x to the third plus 7x squared plus 4x minus 12, what is the third factor? Okay. So, when I look at this, if it's a factor, y'all, what's the remainder? The remainder is 0. So, we need to test either x plus 2 or x minus 1. And it doesn't matter which one we do. And so, normally I choose the one with 1 because it's harder to make multiplication errors with 1. But you could do 2. It doesn't matter which one you choose. And so, if I did 1, I would do x minus 1 equals 0, which means I'm testing what number? I'm testing a positive 1. And when we test that, we put 1 like this. We write down our coefficients. So I get 1, 7, 4, and -12. And this right here is my remainder. And what should my remainder be if it's a factor? All right, so I'm going to bring down the 1. When I multiply, I put it here, bless you. And then I do 7 plus 1, which gives me 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. When I multiply, and then when I add. So 1 is a factor. I started as x to the third, so if I'm going to write this, I would write it as x squared plus 8x plus 12. And then how do I factor x squared plus 8x plus 12? Very good. So we get x plus 6 and x plus 2. We already know that x minus 1 is a factor because it just told us 0, right? It gave us this, x plus 6 and x plus 2. Here's the x plus 2. So the third factor that they were looking for was x plus 6. So not hard, right? But if you're not thinking about it, it'll be harder to find the answer, okay? All right, next. Suppose the quotient resulting from dividing one polynomial by another is x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 1 over x minus 3. What two polynomials were divided? In other words, it wants to know what's the original equation. Any suggestions? How do I undo division? Multiply. So I'm going to multiply x squared minus 6x plus 9 times x minus 3. That was the factor that we divided by, right? So I'm just undoing it, right? I'm undoing the division by multiplying. So x squared times x is going to give me x to the third minus 3x squared minus 6x squared plus 18x plus 9x minus 27. Is that all I need to do? What have I left out? I left out, what is the remainder? Minus 1. So I get x to the third minus 9x squared plus 27x minus 28. So that's the polynomial, and it was divided by, what did we divide by? X minus 3. So there's your original problem. Okay, how many of you can do these now that you've seen them? Are you going to remember this on Thursday if you don't look at this again? No. You're not. That's what I'm telling you. You won't. Okay, so number 13 is the same. Oh, let's go to 14. So the volume in cubic feet of a shipping carton is 2x to the third minus 15x squared plus 16x plus 12. The height is x minus 6. Find the length and the width. So what do I have to do? Do what? Volume equals what? So it gave us the length. It wants the width and the height. So what do? I have to divide the volume by the length. Correct? So I've got the volume, which is this, and I have the height, which is x minus, oh, this is the height, sorry. The height is x minus 6. So if it's x minus 6, what am I going to test? 6 or minus 6? I'm going to test 6. I have 3, 2, 1, and a constant. So I'm going to have 2, negative 15, 16, and 12. I'm going to bring down the 2. So I'm going to take 6 times 2, and that is 12. Negative 15 plus 12 is 3. Or negative 3. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. That gives me negative 2, negative 12, and that gives me 0. So this right here is 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. And this is my length times width, correct? But I want the length and I want the width. So what am I going to have to do? All right, so if I factor, I have -4, -3. So I'm going to have a -4 and a +1. Is that right? Okay, so I'm going to have 2x squared minus 4x plus x minus 2. So I'm going to divide by 2x, and that's going to give me x minus 2. I'm going to divide by 1, and that gives me x minus 2. These match, so I'm good. So I'm going to get x minus 2 and 2x plus 1. One of these is the width and one is the length, correct? What piece of information did they give you? So assume that the length is greater than the width. So which one of these is going to give me a bigger number? So that means that the length is greater, so I get the 2x plus 1 as the length, and the width is x minus 2. Is that good? Okay. All right, let's go to the back. Y'all, I like these problems on the back because these are kind of from the beginning of the year. And so we kind of start bringing stuff together that you're actually going to use again, and this is one of the things. So first of all, when we did this, we said f of a plus b. So that means in my f, wherever there's an a, I put a plus b, right? So I'm going to do 1 over a plus b. And then it says minus f of a. What is f of a? It's this, right? Minus 1 over a. Is that okay? And then on bottom it says a plus b minus a. What happens to the a's? And leaves you with b. Everybody okay? What do I need on top? I need a common denominator, which is going to be a times a plus b. So what do I multiply the 1 by? A. And what do I multiply the other 1 by? A plus b. Is everybody good here? So if I write this out for you, I get a minus b. And what happens to my a's? They cancel. All right, so I am going to get negative b over a times a plus b. And now what do I do with the denominator? I change it to multiplication and I flip it. So look, I put a 1 underneath the b, so when I flip it, it ends up being 1 over b. So what's going to cancel? The b is going to cancel, but what did not cancel? The negative. So I'm going to end up with negative 1 over a times a plus b. Okay, are we good? I'm going to work 17 and 18 and then I'll be done. So first of all, look at number 17. F of x equals x minus 4. G of x equals 5 over x plus 7. And h of x equals g of f of x. What did this symbol stand for? What am I doing? I'm doing the inverse, okay? So, but I have to find h of x before I can find the inverse, right? And so that means I got to take my f of x, which is right here, and I have to substitute it into g wherever there's an x. Do we all agree with that? Okay. So when I do that, I'm going to get h of x equals 5 over x minus 4 plus 7. So this is my h of x, but what do I have to find? The inverse, and how do I find the inverse? So if this is my y, I have to flip the x and the y. So now I have x equals 5 over y minus 4 plus 7. So let's remember, what am I solving for? I'm solving for y, correct? So I'm going to subtract the 7. I'm dividing by y minus 4. So what's the opposite of division? All right, so I'm going to multiply y minus 4 times x minus 7 equals 5. Again, answer me, what am I solving for? But now I'm multiplying, so how do I undo multiply? So I'm going to divide by x minus 7. And how do I get the y by itself now? I add the 4, and what do we do to the y? What do I change that to? The inverse. So we do h inverse of x equals 5 over x minus 7 plus 4. Would any of you remember that? No. But could you do it now? I think maybe. If you don't look at it again, you definitely aren't going to be able to do it. Like, you're going to have to study some this time. All right. Last one that I'm going to work, and then tomorrow I can answer questions if you work some of these and you're stuck, okay? Especially the long division. Is it the long division y'all are having a hard time with back here? No? Okay. All right. Look, I need to find f of g of x, and I want it to equal 0. So that means I have to take my g of x, and I have to put it wherever I see an x in my f of x, right? So I see here, I'm going to have x minus 2 squared minus 3 times x minus 2 minus 4 over x minus 2 plus 1. Does everybody see that? And what's it going to equal? All right. So on top, I get x minus 2 times x minus 2, which is going to give me x squared minus 4x plus 4. And then I'm going to have minus 3x plus 6 minus 4. And on bottom, I'm going to get x minus 1. Everybody okay? Okay. Now on top, I have an x squared. I have minus 4x minus 3x. So what does that give me? Negative 7x. And then I have 4 plus 6, which is 10, minus 4. And so that gives me 6. The x squared minus 7x plus 6, does that factor? So I get x minus 6 times x minus 1. Angel, can I cancel the x minus 1s? Yes, I can. So now I'm left with the super hard fact of x minus 6 equals 0, and your x would equal 6.